In another Joe Rogan's podcast number 1952, with famous American author Michael Malice, the conversation takes a wild twist into the world of Kodiak bears, the towering beasts of the Alaskan wilderness, weighing nearly half a ton. These aren't just animals, they're living monsters, capable of breaking into homes and leaving even the toughest humans frozen in fear. Have a look.
Dude, California has a grizzly bear as the flag. Yeah, it's on the flag. There's no grizzly bears in California. They killed them all. Do you know why they killed them all? Because they killed people. They killed so many people that they got together and they said, we got to kill all these fucking bears. And they killed all of them. And the last guy that died from a grizzly bear was in Levesque, California.
How long ago?
They named it Levesque after him. I think his name was I think his name is Stephen Levesque. Yeah, he got fucking destroyed by a grizzly bear. They killed the bear. That was the last bear. And then they fucking named the town after him.
But how are you going to keep bears out of California? It's gigantic.
They murdered all of them.
Yeah, but there's still going to be some in like Oregon or Nevada who are going to come back.
No, there's no grizzlies in Oregon or Nevada.
Really?
Yeah, there's grizzlies only exist in a few western states. They exist in they don't exist in Colorado, but they do think they might. In fact, my friend Adam Greentree, he did a long hunt in the mountains, the San Juan Mountains of Colorado, and he got video of what he says is a grizzly bear that was off in the distance. Did you see the grizzly bear I posted on my Instagram today?
No, I didn't.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So people I love this video because it's a camera that's set up and someone put food in front of the camera and a light so that when the grizzly bear walked in, you can get video of this thing walking in. So it's like a little cautious and a little skittish, but you get a sense of what it would look like if that thing was like walking up to you. And any illusion,
holy crap,
any illusion that you have that you could somehow survive if that thing wanted to kill you should be instantaneously erased when you see this video.
crap.
Look at the size of that fucking thing. I mean, look at the fucking size of it.
Okay.
Play that again, because it's so insane. When you see it walking, the immense power of this thing.
It's a truck.
And this thing could run 40 miles an hour. Like, you're fucked. Dude, I bet they run faster than 40 miles an hour.
No, there's no way.
I bet they do. Yeah.
No, 40?
Oh,
40 is crazy.
You would be stunned. You'd be stunned if you saw how fast a grizzly bear runs.
Yeah, but 40 is a crazy speed.
But don't you think a deer could do that?
Brown bear 35, little bear 25.
What's that? Brown bear 35? Black bear what?
It's a polar bear 25.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
okay. 35 miles an hour. Close to 40.
Okay.
It's in the neighborhood.
Sure.
It's like fast as the fastest human that's ever lived. And they could do it for a long time.
Oh my God.
But there's one running. Look how fast he's running.
That's from a car. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, they're stunningly fast for a big thing. Way faster than us.
Well, so I saw rhinos and hippos. They're it's insane.
Look at that fucker run. Well, they're all muscle. They're just muscle and fat and fur and thick ass skin.
Do they have stamina though?
Oh yeah, man. They chase moose down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
right.
Oh,
They're not ambush predators. They're chase predators.
I don't mean to be defensive.
I was just saying, like,
I felt like I got a little aggressive.
Can they sprint 100 yards and then they go?
None of the animals can sprint a mile, but they have better endurance than the deer.
Yeah.
They catch them. They just chase after them. If they get them in an open area, they just chase after them. There's a great video of this large grizzly bear chasing down this elk, and they're running over like deadfall trees and shit, and the bear just finally gets them. They're just scrambling around. It's almost like you're watching a football play, and then the bear gets them. The bear just chased him down and got him. They get them all the time. Bears are so big and so powerful that they have no fear. There's nothing that can fuck them up.
Yeah, but no, they can be kind of skittish. You ever watch that show
That's
Alone?
because of people.
Sure.
People and guns. So what I was saying is like Wyoming, Montana, Alaska has a lot. Other states with grizzlies or brown bears, I think that might be it. Idaho definitely has.
Look,
Sorry.
New York State had brown bears.
No.
No?
No. New York State has black bears that are color phase bears.
Okay.
They probably had brown bears at one point in time.
Yeah.
In history, and they probably were eradicated for the same reason why they eradicated them from California. Like, people forget, like, California was all ranches and shit.
Right.
You know, like when people first came out here, the settlers, the homesteaders,
Yeah, of course.
They killed all those grizzly bears. Like, fuck this.
You sure there's no brown bears upstate New York?
Yes, I'm sure. There's a color phase black bear, and they are brown.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to. Yeah.
And some of them are blonde. They get to like a blonde color, but there's no grizzlies.
I just said grizzlies. I mean, I thought brown bears were.
Brown bears are grizzlies.
It's the same thing?
Yeah, brown bear is the coastal bear. Like Alaska is a brown bear. The brown bears live on the coast, and then the inland bears are grizzlies. But they're the same bear. It's a brown bear.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two different species. They have longer claws. They're a different bear, and they're much more aggressive and much more dangerous than a black bear. But black bears, when they kill people, they're killing people to eat people more often. Brown bears generally don't think of people as food. They don't know what the fuck you are. Like, they're trying to kill moose and
Sure.
deer and eat salmon and stuff like that. Black bear will be like, they've pulled people out of tents and shit, but grizzly bears have done that too.
In Joe Rogan's podcast 1559 with famous American writer and TV personality Steven Rinella, the conversation takes a wild turn straight into the heart-pounding world of bears. From close call encounters to survival instincts that kick in when you're face-to-face with a massive predator, this discussion isn't just fascinating, it's downright thrilling. Let's have a look.
I like that you think about how long you have left on the planet.
Think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wake up, I try to think about that every day.
You know, how like politicians, they'll enter office and they'll make a clock set for like 4 years or whatever, and it counts down. I need to get one of those, like
For life.
for like roughly my life expectancy, and it counts down backwards.
Well, don't you think that your life expectancy, I mean, you are one of the few people that I know that has almost been killed by a grizzly bear.
Well, yeah,
You had a real...
in a situation like in a brush, yeah, something enough where it was scary enough that I now that I've studied it a fair bit, that I now know I had a mental, I had like a near death experience mental experience, even though I was unharmed. But it jarred my brain
so hard.
It jarred my the minute or the seconds that occurred jarred my brain so hard that as I've tried to be curious about and study about what happened in my brain, its parallels are all found and it's discussed by people who discuss near death experiences, which might just mean I'm not as tenacious mentally as I'd like to be, but my brain got joggled.
But don't you think that...
Is joggle the word?
It is now. Don't you think that when you're in contact with an animal that's that large, I mean, a predatory animal that's, how big was it, 10 feet? How big was a grizzly? Easily?
Yeah, I don't want to...
Enormous.
Like, it was like, struck all of us, and we've looked at a lot of bears as being like, a mature brown bear.
Okay, so...
Mature Kodiak brown bear.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about. Talk about where you were at, Fognak Island, which is a place that has enormous bears. That whole part of the world is known for some of the largest brown bears on earth.
Yeah, it's separated from Kodiak by a narrow strait. It's like, so like the Kodiak brown bear being like the world's biggest bear was just a neighboring island. But that specific specimen, I don't know, a mature animal.
Just huge.
Yeah.
When you're around something like that, where there can be no doubt that you can't get out of the way, you can't fight it off, you're helpless. Like, it must trigger something in your mind where you come to grips with the reality of predator and prey, that you almost were on the menu.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way around that. You can't, there's no rationalizations you can play in your mind when you're confronted with such absolute superiority.
Are you familiar with the term playing possum?
Yeah.
Obviously. So, our understanding of opossums now is that they're not playing.
They conk out, right? Yeah.
Stress. He's not playing dead. He hits such a stress level that he shuts off. I'm like embarrassed to admit, but I think it's instructive to point out that I was playing possum in that moment, and I don't mean playing.
Yeah.
It possumed me out.
Let's tell everybody who doesn't know the story.
Oh, yeah. So real quick,
Fognak Island.
Yeah, we've been yapping a long time, but we were hunting and had hung a elk up in a tree and left it for a day and a half. all the meat hanging in a tree. And we're camped a few miles away from there, and went back with a few guys to retrieve the meat out of the tree, and a bear had found it. And we were very, very aware that this might occur, and went up and investigated the area around the tree and determined that the bear hadn't found it yet. In fact, the carcass of the animals laying not far away was untouched. In hindsight, there was a pile of bear shit that had been smeared on the ground. And I remember looking at that pile of bear shit and wondering if it had been smeared by a bear's foot or smeared by a boot. And I determined that it looked like it had been smeared by a boot, which would have been we'd smeared the shit when we were hanging the thing in the tree. And then stupidly, we sat down to eat lunch. And within a couple of minutes of sitting down and eating lunch, the bear came in, and it's open mouth past just 18 inches from my head.
Jesus.
And I was facing away, so I was the last one to see it. Giannis, who you know, he had a pistol, he had bear spray, but he hit it in the head with a pair of black diamond trekking poles. He had sat down, he's got spray, and set his pistol on his pack. But then when I talk about like playing possum and all the shit that happens to you, his instinct is to smack it with a trekking pole.
Wow.
In Joe Rogan's podcast 1738 with American comedian and filmmaker Ben O'Brien, the conversation turns to life in Grizzly country, a place where every single step could put you face to face with one of nature's most fearsome predators. From heart-pounding encounters to the raw reality of hunting among apex beasts, this discussion shows just how thin the line is between awe and survival. Let's watch this together.
I was out in this train, it's just grizzly bear. This grizzly bear, my dad's there, and I'm cow calling. Okay?
And you think the elk's coming,
I think this elk's coming.
but it's not.
It's not. I see the elk go across this ridge, right? It goes across this ridge. And then I see this brown flash go down this hill in front of me. And there's a bit of a, if you look like this brown flash has to go down this ridge and then around the corner of the spine of the ridge and stay down in the valley. I know that above me is a elk carcass freshly killed yesterday. So I'm waiting for this big bull elk. I'm looking this way, and I turn around. I look down below me, 100 yards below me. My dad's here, I'm here, and I turn around below me, and there's a giant bear 100 yards below me. I turn all the way around, like, Dad, there's a bear. There's a bear. There's a bear. There's a bear. I have my pistol right here.
Dad have a pistol?
He's not. He has a bow only. I have a pistol and bear spray.
Your dad have bear spray?
He does not. At this point, he's not. So luckily, I'm between him and the bear. The bear goes down the drainage. I remember, as a hunter, mostly I'm worried about is this a black bear or a grizzly bear? I didn't know at the time. It was kind of shadowed in this ravine as it was going up. And I'm looking through the binoculars. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm not sure if it's a black or grizzly bear. Grizzly bears have a distinct hump that you're looking for that's different from a black bear. And this black bear's sauntering down.
At the risk of making this a longer story,
Yeah.
explain why it's way more dangerous if it's a grizzly.
A black bear, you and I have experienced this in Alberta together. A black bear is not as aggressive, not as predatory. Black bear attacks are very less frequent than grizzly bear attacks. I don't know that I could explain kind of just the nature of the grizzly bear and a black bear is an omnivore in many ways. A grizzly bear is a carnivore. And in this scenario, if it was a black bear, I would be looking to shoot it rather than being afraid of it, because I love black bear meat. It's delicious. And black bear fat. You've had Clay Newcomb on, you make bear grease. It's one of the best things that there is. So I guess that maybe explains the difference. And then
For people, in comparison, it's like a golden retriever versus a wolf.
pretty much, that's a pretty good comparison.
It's a completely different animal.
I wish there was a wildlife biologist just to kind of really lay it out there. But in terms
A
of
German Shepherd wolf.
yeah, it probably
That's
a fucker.
I'm trying to be like more comedic.
Right.
It's a different animal.
It is, and I would say that you've seen it when we were hunting bait in Alberta.
Yeah.
When a black bear comes in, you're willing to stand your ground.
You know, we were on our way. We saw a grizzly in Alberta. When we were on our way to where we were hunting, looking eye to eye with a grizzly is wild.
It's a wild thing. And when a grizzly bear comes through a stand of timber or a mountainside in this case, things go quiet.
And we didn't even, when I was in Alberta, the one I've seen in the wild was not that big, but the one you saw was big.
This is one of the biggest bears I've ever seen. I'm talking big hind end is.
Give me a roundabout.
I have no idea. I would guess it at to 6.5 to 7 feet. I don't know how to guess how much it weighed.
This is a 350.
Oh, fucking way more than that.
450.
700. 600 pounds. We later found
700 pounds.
We later found the track on the road where we walk in every morning. So the drainage, this little 2-track dirt road where we walk in, we found this thing's track. So it is sauntering up this drainage. And there's a moment where my mind's not in the right spot. It's in the place of, is this a grizzly bear or a black bear? And now that I look back on that moment, that bear was about 2 seconds away from ripping my face off.
Oh my God.
I'm cow calling. To that bear, I'm a cow elk. And to me, I wasn't scared. I wasn't pulling for my pistol. I was watching it as a hunter might watch any game species
thinking an elk's going to come over the ridge.
Yeah.
And a grizzly bear. How many pounds?
Maybe 700-800 pounds. I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong. But
be nice.
A big one.
Let's be nice and say 600. Imagine a 600-pound super predator.
One swat.
One full clip towards you.
I've interviewed many people that have had their face ripped off, their testicles ripped off. I know the pure carnage that a grizzly bear like that can do. And I also know in my pack is a tourniquet and all the medical supplies a man might carry. But I'm pretty close to town. My dad's there. We have our cell phone service. We're not in the backcountry. I know at this point, when I determined it to be a grizzly bear, it's already walking up the drainage away from me. I determined it's a grizzly bear. I know then that if it turns back to us, we got a problem. But if it keeps going up the drainage, I know where it's headed. It's headed to that elk carcass that was there. And so luckily for us, it goes up the drainage. It heads over towards the elk carcass and ducks into the timber. And it's not the end of it, but that's the end of that encounter.
And you're carrying a pistol?
I have a pistol.
What caliber?
44 Magnum. A Taurus 44 Magnum ultralight. And I have a chest holster that's from a guy named Razco, a guy in Bozeman, makes this chest holder that attaches to the bottom of the.
Is this a revolver?
This revolver. And I have bear spray on the hip belt of my.
So you can get up 6 shots?
I can get up 6 shots.
6 shots.
And I know, again, having been in the industry and talked to a lot of people that have had encounters, I know kind of how this is going to go. And likely how it goes is the only way you get out of it is you get mauled and the bear loses interest, or the person that's with you saves you in some manner, right?
Yeah.
There's a pretty famous.
His dad doesn't have a gun.
He doesn't. He has a bow.
And you're in front.
I'm in front.
Oh.
So I'm between these two. And again, this
is your pistol in... Is it, you have to open up a snap to pull it out, or is it
full of it's fully in a molded holster that I can pull out and present.
Right.
Easy. It'll be double action because I don't have it cocked.
And do you have a thought when that's happening where he might run away, but if I shoot him, he might attack me?
Yeah, I mean,
there's like a calculation, right?
Yeah, and again, as a hunter, I'm more interested in what is this thing doing? Why is it here? Than I am like I should run away.
Right.
And that is, I think, both appropriate and also probably not the best thing to be doing then. Like, he should probably be.
Can you remember what you thought? Like, what went through your head when you realized it wasn't an elk and it was a giant grizzly bear?
Finally.
In the podcast 1060 with Joe Rogan, famous American professional wildlife hunter and guide Remy Warren shares a story so intense it left Joe speechless. He revealed his terrifying encounter with a massive grizzly bear in the Alaskan wilderness. An attack so raw, So close to death, it shows exactly what it means to stare into the eyes of nature's most powerful predator. Let's check it out.
I purposely didn't ask you or talk to you about the grizzly bear attack because I wanted to save it.
You want it? You want
What is it like to have survived literally being, what are you, 2 feet away from an attacking grizzly bear?
close? Yeah.
You could have grabbed it
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
easily.
Easily. Oh, that was just nuts. It was one of those things. Okay. I've thought about it a million times.
I'm sure. How long ago was this?
So that would have been early October or mid-October.
So you've had
So-
3 months.
3 months to kind
Somewhere
of think about
around.
it. Yep. And yeah, man, it's just one of those things that I've thought about it so many times in my head. And I've always been, I think Steve was the same way, like, oh, it'd be pretty cool to survive a bear attack, get scratched up a little bit. After that experience, I thought to myself, if that never happens, I'll be okay.
Yeah, Steve used to always say, Steve Rinella, we're talking about from the Meat Eater podcast, and he has a 2-part series on this particular bear attack. But he used to always say he wanted to get clawed across the chest and have like, not a tattoo, but like a big claw. I'm like,
A little
what?
bit of marking.
Like, what are the odds that that happens?
Yeah, I think that in order to get that, you have to go through a really, really horrible experience. And there's guys that have had those attacks, or there's guys that have had those attacks a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around a lot of wild animals and seen a lot of things and been charged by bears. And this was just different. It was that kind of attack where while it's happening, you're going, this is not going to pan out well. Somebody's going to die. You're just looking at this bear and it's coming in hot and just everything. It's a weird experience. Your memory's a little foggy of it. Everything happened so fast, but it felt like it was so long.
So the adrenaline just was overwhelming your
think
brain.
Yeah. And you don't even think about, I just remember it was a weird situation. So maybe I'll just kind of recap the story. So we're on a Fognac Island and we're hunting.
Yeah, and the Fognac Island is
on a Kodiak. Yeah. So a Fognac Island has some of the largest bears in the world. They're brown bears. They are big brown bears. They can be over 1,000 pounds. So we're hunting elk there. My brother and myself have hunted elk on that island before, and it's just a miserable place to be.
What's a fascinating hunt, the way you guys were describing it, because just the fact that you would choose out of all the places you can go, you pretty much can go anywhere you want.
Yeah.
You chose to go on this brutal adventure hunt because it's so difficult. It's because because like Rinella was talking about this once, and the way he described it is like, there's things that are fun while you're doing them, but they're not fun later, like roller coasters.
Yeah.
And then there's things that are terrible and awful, but you'll think about them forever and look back at them fondly.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's that, after the fact, you think back and you go, in the moment, you go, I will never do this again. And then about a year later, you go, I should do that again. It's weird.
And what is it about the place that's so miserable?
Well, it's hard to walk through. It looks easy hiking, and there's just this big mountain where you can get to with a plane. You've kind of got to climb this big mountain, and the vegetation is so thick and it's so steep that it takes forever to go somewhere. So to put it in perspective, to go, say, a mile might take 5 hours.
Whoa.
That's how much like a map mile.
Yes.
So the way the crow would fly, if you're just going a mile, and then another distance could take you half that time or a quarter of that time, but there's a big mountain in between where you need to go, plus the vegetation, and it's really steep. So you've got all that kind of working against you. Plus you can't really walk in just a straight line there. You've got to navigate around all kinds of stuff.
And where's you from? Play some in this, Jamie.
That was it.
Been destroyed, and this is just a rough day. Feel rough.
So that was after the bear.
Yeah, right after.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out, because I put right after the bear attacked, I pulled out my phone and was just kind of like recording everyone's reactions. And then I put it on my Instagram story, but I'll try to find it tonight and I'll post it onto I'll figure out a way to
Instagram
stitch it
stories,
together.
they let you save them now.
Now they do. Yeah, this was like 3 weeks before that, unfortunately.
So this place is miserable. It's rainy all the time.
Rainy, high winds.
Thick, dense vegetation and literal monsters.
Yeah, I mean giant bears, and then big. The elk are probably what they weigh. They can weigh up to 1,400 pounds. These elk, so the size is way bigger. Yeah, it's like the size of 2 normal elk weight wise. Because like an average elk would probably be around 500 pounds in most places. And
A really big one, like we were talking about the California ones at Tajon, sometimes can get to 1,000.
Yeah,
this is another 400 pounds.
Exactly. That's a lot. That's a big
giant animal.
And there's bears that eat those giant animals. So those bears are giant. The bears can be over 1,200, 1,500 pounds themselves. 11 feet or more. Yeah.
11 feet?
11 feet. It's nuts. 11-foot bear.
No. This one that attacked you guys, how big do you think it was, if you had to guess?
I would say, well, I would say it's 11 and a half feet because, because actually after we went in there, my friend who's a pilot there and dropped us off, he called me about a week or two later. He's like, they shot that bear that went after you guys. Somebody went in there, same place, bear attacked them. They killed it in self-defense. It was 11 and a half feet, and I think almost 1,200 pounds. So there's very good odds that that was the same bear. I would imagine that it was. There's very, I mean, because it's the same area.
Probably had taken over that area.
Seemed about the same size. When it came in, I thought that's a big boar. It wasn't one of those ones you think, oh, it looked like a big mature animal. In the piecing together what happened in my mind later. But yeah, so we're hunting elk on this island. Steve ends up getting an elk. We hang it in a tree. We do all the stuff you're supposed to do, get the meat away from the carcass. But we had yet to see a bear up until this point. And when my brother and I went in there a few years earlier, we just saw bears every day. We'd see 6 bears a day. So your mind's just bear, bear, bear when you're seeing them all the time. When you aren't seeing them all the time, you get a little lax. And that's where we really screwed up. Because the attack went down, no one was prepared. We were just sitting around having some sandwiches, and we're filming, and there's 6 of us all together. And I think that large group, that 6, is what saved us, because when the bear ran in, it was 6 of us sitting kind of in like a semicircle, a strange circle. And when that bear came in, we did that scatter effect, and I think that scatter was kind of like if a lion's going after a zebra, they use their numbers and stripes to confuse the lion. Is that scattering of things just going everywhere that caused confusion for the bear. So I think the bear went in thinking, whatever's under that tree, I'm going to kill it. And it thought it was one thing. And then when we blew up into 6 different pieces, it just tried to kill everything at once and couldn't actually get one person.